Hello everyone, welcome back to Tim's Cotteswold Farm. So before I start this video, I just want to say a massive thank you. So as of this week, YouTube finally accepted me into its YouTube partnership program, and that's all down to you guys watching my videos. So I owe you a massive thanks. Hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you afterwards. So got a little cleanup job this morning. We're going to fell the rest of these ash trees that just go down here, and then we've also got that wood over there which we still haven't quite picked up. Now this field was topped earlier in the week, and it was, as I think I put in one of my other videos, it was a mix of sunflowers, wheat, barley and a load of other things that we were going to use for feed. The top has actually done a really good job considering the flails aren't balanced and they're not very sharp. So the rest of the sunflowers kind of go like this. I don't know whether you can see that, but it's almost like it's like polystyrene. Maybe Amazon could get into this, just plant loads of sunflowers. One point I should probably note, so we're cutting these particular ash trees down because they sit on the side of the road, and already there's been quite a few branches which have fallen across, so it's just not worth risking any road users, whether it be drivers or walkers. So we're going to cut these down, but we're going to leave about 1 metre in height so that it still forms some sort of fence to stop poachers and people trespassing. So we're going to cut these down. My father-in-law wants the timber, which is fantastic. So I'm going to come up, give him a hand with the macro. We're going to clear all the trash, get this field ready, and then in the next week or so, spring has certainly warmed up this soil. I think we're in good position to plant all the sunflowers and the wheat and the barley and everything else that we're going to be putting in it. So over here we're trying to make our own straw harrow. So you would have seen at Claydon, which looked like this. We've got a frame up in the shed which we're going to try and use these, and we've just bought one to see whether they're going to be thick enough. Try and make our own straw harrow, because I can't remember how much they were, but I think they're probably anywhere between 15 to 25,000. So we can make one far cheaper just by using these from a spare parts manufacturer. Just going to fuel and oil the saws, and I'm also going to sharpen them because we haven't done it for quite a while, and then we're going to head up. Cutting all this up at the moment, then we're going to turn our attention to felling the rest of these. I'm going to back the macro out of the way, and then we're going to fell each of these into the field. Switch to the baby 25 so that we can just buck some of this timber a lot easier. Making good progress. So we've taken all these off, then we've just got 2 left. So I've just come back from cutting all the wood, and I've just noticed there's a load of deer in the field just by the shed. I'll flip the camera around so you can see it. There they are. So this afternoon we're just putting a bit of fertiliser on this wheat. It's probably going to be the last application we're going to put on, and it's really just to bolster the protein and try and make sure that this wheat is good enough to go for milling. Now, I've got some drone footage as well. I was actually just on a call with someone who's trying to get us to be a dealer for an auto steer system. So I saw Dad driving out the yard, so I thought I'd come up and get some footage, because I'm conscious actually this year fertiliser spreading, I haven't got any of either me doing it or Dad doing it. So that's Dad's 7.6. Now, he bought it from new and he would never sell it. He absolutely loves that classic tractor. Now, the reason we do it with the classic tractor is because all the nitrogen, because it's so corrosive, albeit machines have got better and they don't throw it on the tractors as much as they used to, it'll eat through all the paint. So what we try and do is keep all of our really good tractors away from chemical and fertilizer, and then the old knackered machines like that, or classic, we do jobs like this with them. A couple of people asked me why we worm them about a month before lambing, and the reason is there's something called PPRI, and that stands for peri-parturient relaxation and immunity. And ultimately what it means is the lamb is pulling so much power from the mum that she is unable to sustain her standard immune system. So we would give her a worming shot a month before just to keep on top of it, and then also once the lambs have been born, we would tend to worm them about 6 weeks afterwards. So there you go. That's why. So what I've just done is accidentally locked my keys in the truck. So I'm going to load this wood up, and then I'm going to have to wait for Edward probably to wake up so Lydia can come and bring me some keys. But I was just looking at this ground, and you'll notice because it was cultivated when it was wet, it's got these massive chunks which just haven't really been broken up. I mean, the drill just had to get on with it. It's only a cover crop, but in reality it would have been good to have just gone over this again, or have some discs or something who would just smash all this apart and make a nicer seedbed. Just picked up the final few pieces because we couldn't fit it in the 2 trailers we had in the potato box, so I've just got these final pieces. And then we've also left this for the bugs and the beetles, and then on along here we've also put the other piece. I'll just quickly show you. This is where we pushed the rest of it, so this should provide a really nice home for hares, I mean even foxes and badgers, hedgehogs, beetles. Little birds can hide from here, anything really. If the fuel bills are going to hit like they say, I'm just going to come back up at some point and just get all this back out and chop it up, because I think it's probably worthwhile actually to start a fire. Wood's going to be a precious commodity. I'm going to speak to Dad to see whether we could put a heavier lay in here. It's not big, and previously we just put grass to stop the water running down the bank, but it actually makes sense. Why don't we seed this and at least mow it? It's only small, but we could get just a couple of bales, especially to go back into the sheep if I'm thinking of putting them down there. So this field will wash the face of the 30-40 acres that we're going to put sheep on just behind us. Likewise, in the future, I'd really like to be able to put grass out there, but until we fence it, people are just going to walk up, let their dogs go everywhere. And obviously there's issues with dog muck in fields and how that reacts with cattle and things, because it can cause diseases. So I wanted to end this video by showing you something different. I was going to come down and show you this field, which we're going to call the campsite field. So the campsite is on pitch up at the moment. I'll put a link in the description. So if you did want to come stay here on the farm, then obviously you can do so. But I was slightly distracted, so I came down. Now this gate is supposed to be hung from that side, and there was actually a chain on both sides, and it was just led on the side. Now there's no wheel tracks or anything in here, so I don't really know how or why it got broken, but obviously that's something we just need to watch out, whether it's poachers or whether someone just wanted to trespass, I don't know. So we've planted this grass last weekend. Now what we did, we fertilized it first, then we cultivated it. One, it incorporates the fertilizer into the ground, but most importantly, we didn't want any wheel marks. So this, as you can see, is like a mill pond. We've planted grass seed one way, and then we've planted it the other way. And the reason you do that is that grass never tillers. When you put a grass lay in, it will always stay in its rows. So we've tried to create a cross section so that we can get better grass coverage. So this has then been, as I say, cultivated. Then we drilled it in a cross section twice, and then we've just flat rolled it. Now this is about a week old. We've had rain and sun, so I'm really hopeful that it's actually going to start growing pretty well. You can already see, hopefully behind me, there's just a nice green tinge starting to shoot. Now when I came down into the field, there were a couple of baby rabbits by the gateway, which is fine, but actually they would decimate all of these young shoots. Do you notice the difference between cereal seeds and these grass? Just how delicate they are. So if you get 20-30 rabbits, there's quite a thick stem, 20-30 rabbits on here would just decimate it within a short period. Hopefully it'll grow strong. Grass is pretty resilient. Every time you mow it, hopefully it's going to get stronger, but a good coverage. I'm really happy with that. You can see here the deer have been treading across it. What they tend to do, so there's, I don't know, probably 300-400 acres of woodland beyond there. So they travel down through the barley and then go on down into the wood. So I'll keep you updated, but as I say, this is on pitch up. I will put a link in the description below. So if you do want to come stay on my farm, fantastic, click the link, make a booking. It's between July and August. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, if you've got any comments or questions, or you want to just ask me something to include in the next video, I will do. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next week. Bye.